Welcome to Continuum COMiX Creative Corner, where we invite creators into the continuum to explore their creations and their creative journey. Welcome back. This is part 2 where we're going to deep dive into Team Geek Girl and what that means. With me right now is Sam Johnson. Sam Johnson is taking some time to explain to us now what's going on with Geek Girl. So what is Team Geek Girl? Let's start right there. Let's get it rolling.
Okay, well, let's do the high concept of Geek Girl for those that aren't familiar before touching Team Geek Girl. So Geek Girl, hot popular college chick Ruby K lands a pair of super tech glasses. Initial impact of this makes her super klutzy, not used to the super strength, knocks drinks over her friends, alienating them. This is the mean girl friends. Her BFF Summer, who's pictured at the top there, is behind her with this whole thing. She's into the superhero thing. Jokingly gives her the moniker Geek Girl based on her klutzy actions, and that's the opening thing with Geek Girl. But she's from there grown into a bona fide superheroine and has been noticed and has been picked up to front a super team, and in the new art, this super team is coming together, and which is the new trade paperback, Team Geek Girl, collecting the first arc of the team as it is.
Now, there's a bit of a crossover in universes crossing over. Can you explain that a little bit to us?
Yeah, so in a previous Kickstarter, there was in the first issue of this arc, there's a plane scene with some of the would-be team members flying out to the HQ, and people could get drawn into this scene as a reward. It was like you and your partner or you and your friend. And Mark Darden, creator Guano Guy, wanted to get in on this, but actually have his characters in it. So we've got Guano Guy, who's this very sort of self-serving superhero that's not so much bothered about helping people so much as he is about merchandising. And he got drawn into this scene, and I decided to expand on this and make him one of the would-be members of the team. So he then plays a bigger role in it. Now he's not so much a team player, so where that goes is not the clues in the start of that sentence, but it feeds into where things are going to go with the whole team, in that basically Guano Guy doesn't make the cut, so they remember short. Now this is going to lead to Summer, Ruby's BFF, who loves the whole Geek Girl thing. At the end of the first mini-series, Ruby K, Geek Girl, got put in a coma. Summer filled in because, with the super tech glasses, you get the flight and strength powers. Filled in as Geek Girl. She didn't have the propensity for it that Ruby did, but she kind of loved it. She loves the whole superhero thing. So there's ideas going on that are going to build in terms of whether Summer might still have a place in the superhero world and perhaps in the Geek Girl superhero team, but it's going to lead Summer down a dark path.
All right, I have to ask. I've been following you for years now. We've done these interviews for the better part of 5 years. We keep coming together. You've shared some amazing stuff. I've seen the framework, and I've asked this before, so I'm going to ask it again. This is building towards another team book, isn't it? I have that feeling that there's an expansion coming. Am I right? Can you talk about that?
Well, I mean, I like to keep things unpredictable. So though this new trade paperback is Team Geek Girl, as I say, for starters, very early on in this arc, one of the would-be members pulls out. And Geek Girl remains the central focus of the book. So we're not losing, I describe Geek Girl as superheroes meets mean girls plus weirdness, and we're not going to lose the mean girl element. So like the previously alienated cool kid clique, who weren't buying the whole superhero thing, now Ruby proved herself and is popular as this superheroine. They now like to be what's part of popularity and want to get back in with her. So there's like a two-part thing that you're actually picturing there, the variant covers to where they go to a nightclub. Yeah, club scene, two-part issue, two-part arc within the larger arc, which you can see on the right there, the mean girls, to sort of ingratiate themselves back in with Ruby. They go dressed as superheroes because it's a fancy dress club night. So there's an underlying tension because now we're best friends again. Now you're popular, whereas before they didn't want to know. So Ruby gets quite drunk during the course of this evening, and things are gonna get a bit fractious.
All right, now let me ask you, you are a creator beyond just Geek Girl, and we can see all the energy that you put into your work, but there are other characters that you have been working on. Are those characters going to potentially get their own series at any point, spinning
Yeah,
off?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, Carbracini, Voodoo Junkie Hitwoman has a big. I've been wanting. Well, there's a mini series that's been mostly done for some time, but I wanted to introduce us to the page as Geek Girl before putting that out. So, in this current art that's in the Team Geek Girl trade paperback, excuse me, Carbra plays a big role at the beginning of the art. There's a guy dabbling in the occult that gets shot, but he's able to remove the bullet because of what he can do with his occult stuff, and he ends up hiring Carbracini to Carbracini being the former prostitute junkie turned supernatural gun for hire. Who's like again a character I love writing. It's very over the top scenery chewing, and yeah, she's going to play a big part in this arc. And that's going to lead directly into the Carbracini Voodoo Junkie Hitwoman miniseries.
When would we even get a chance to see that? Will that be released sometime this year?
Yeah, aiming for, all being well, I'm going to do the Kickstarter October, November, possibly November's most likely.
Now, one of the things I know that a lot of people are concerned about, and I'm someone who just
There's
met.
Carbra, by the way. That's so you've got a visual there on the. You've got Geek Girl on the left, and then Carbra on the right, facing off, and some kind of banshee-like woman that's in this weird dimension that she uses as a shortcut between wherever she is and where she wants to go on a hit called the Infinite.
Wow, I saw that. That was really cool. One of the big
lovely cover by Carlos Villas there. I'm never sure if anyone wants to correct me. I'm never sure if I pronounce his name correctly, if it's Carlos Villas or VS, but either way, he does good cover.
I think it's Villas because I've had he's a friend. He's done work for me before, and he said I pronounced it right.
Thank you for clearing that up.
That he said I was doing fine, unless he just didn't care. But
well, if he doesn't care, that's all right as well.
Yeah. So one of the things I've noticed that's gotten harder, at least for me, is shipping to England. I know you have backers all over the world. How do you deal with like international shipping? So I know that you've said that you've found a way to make it more affordable for creators. I mean, fans in the US.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really me making it more affordable. For some reason, it seems to be cheaper this way going out to you guys than the other way around. I mean, when I back Kickstarters, when I see the shipping prices, I generally end up backing the digital, but it's not too bad here. Yeah, it works all right, and it is, it's nice to have. When you're backing a Kickstarter, you get more out of it, more of the sort of experience of it if you get physical, such as because we've hit the goal. We've introduced the stretch goal now, which is that there's going to be all physical backers will get a limited print of Ruby K cosplaying, and you can in the Geek Girl comic book Facebook group, you can vote for whoever you'd like to see it cosplay as. It could be another superheroine. It could be like with Son Kumanaki. We've got a limited collector's pack where she's got some limited prints in it because she did the cover for Geek Girl 5. And there's some of her limited prints, one of which is basically her cosplaying as Boba Fett. So it's like a sort of sexed up version of Boba Fett. So it could be anything. And basically you can vote for that at the Geek Girl Comic Book Facebook group. And if we hit our stretch goal, which I think we're on track to do, I think it's looking good. Then whichever characters are most voted for, when we hit that, we'll Ruby K will cosplay as, and everyone will get a limited print that has a physical reward.
And I still believe this. The story has some amazing characters, driven moments. I was really impressed with the diversity in the cast, and the art is fantastic. And I must have written this 2 or 3 years ago, and you still hold up to it. I remember you had asked right before we went live, did I read the preview? And I told you no, because I'm too much of a fan, and I'd be afraid to run my mouth. But I saw the art. I saw what you're doing, and here's the rainbow from part 1 of the interview we did. She's showing off the rainbow from the phone. So, this is just something that I've always been a huge fan of. How has the fan response been? I know that you said there aren't as many conventions near you, so you don't really get to do hands-on. How is connecting with the fans, especially over the last year that we've just experienced?
I mean, I'm all over Facebook, so that's always been, the big thing for me. I mean, back when I started doing conventions, I think I had a Geek Girl Zero, a much smaller black and white affair, and I think most people that came and got it at the convention had heard about it on Facebook. So Facebook is yeah, it's just a huge thing for me. And Kickstarter is for me is now, in terms of getting people to pre-order the book, is the best vehicle there is, and I'm really enjoying this campaign. It's not been stressful. Many creators that have done it will be familiar, that have done Kickstarters will be familiar with the dead zone, where it's like, there's just periods of time where it just seems like nothing much is happening. But it's really been a fun one, and I've kept coming up with ideas and new things as it's progressed, such as like just today, that Ruby K cosplay thing. If that goes the way I expect it to do and we hit the goal, there's like going to be probably one final reward that ties in with whoever Ruby will be cosplaying. That it's really it kind of exactly what that comprises depends on who the winner of that contest is. But it's a very nice reward if this goes the way. Well, it's going to be a nice reward, whatever. But if the voting goes the way I expect it to, and we hit our stretch goal, really, really nice. As I say, probably one final reward to be added.
And if you could pick any character for Ruby to actually cosplay, who would you pick?
Well, the one that I suggested because you can, in this thing at the Geek Girl group, you can suggest anyone you want and people can vote for him. I thought Vampirella would be quite a cool one, because Ruby has a sexuality to her. It's not like gratuitous, but Vampirella has a sort of campiness to her, and she's got the dark hair. I thought that would be cool, but at the moment we've got Vampirella is third in the rankings, but we've got Wonder Woman seems to be quite far ahead, and I'm pretty happy with that. Wonder Woman, Geek Girl, Ruby K as Wonder Woman is something I'd like to see. And what you're looking at there is the Sun Komanaki pack I mentioned, where you have all these cosplay things, and the ones on the left is Boba Fett Underworld, and then there's a Wonder Woman one there as well. These are like limited prints. It's a limited reward. There's 5 of them, and there's currently 3 left.
All right, we're down to the last just about 2 minutes of the program. Tell us, beyond this, what is the future plan for the Geek Girl franchise? What can you tell us? I know you like to keep things unpredictable. I get that. But just in the coming future, we have that spin-off coming we just learned about. Is there anything else you want to tell people that's coming out maybe just this year?
Well, I mean, that for me, that's about enough for this year, because there's the new trade. I mean, these aren't out yet; they're on the Kickstarter. Issues 8 and 9 are for anyone that's already been following Geek Girl, are the brand new issues on there. So they're going to lead into the Carbuccini Voodoo Junkie Hit-1 series, which will then lead back into Geek Girl. So that's enough for me for the time being. I mean, I've got tons of ideas of where I want to go with Geek Girl beyond that, but this is my focus for this year now.
And people can stay in the know about what you got going on over here by going to geekgirlcomics.com, right?
Ordinarily, that would link to the mailing list, but right now it's set up to link to the Kickstarter, because it's much easier than the great convoluted route. But if anyone wants to join the Geek Girl mailing list, just send a blank email or just put Geek Girl as a subject matter to Sam Johnson at geekgirlcomics.com, and I'll add you, and you'll get the free Geek Girl digital preview comic.
And you can also pick up the books right now, not just on Kickstarter, but on Indie Planet as well. So go.
Yeah, not the new ones, but yeah, all the previous issues are up there as well.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sam, for all the time you've given us today. I look forward to seeing what's next. I'm always excited because, like you said, you keep it unpredictable. Every time you show up, it's something new. Really quick, one more time, where can everyone follow you?
Follow me, just search Sam Johnson on Facebook, G Kickstarter, or DA Sam Johnson on Twitter, Sam Johnson COMiX Instagram, and the quick link to the Geek Girl Kickstarter, which is not that long, not that much of it left remaining now. It runs till May 31st, and geekgirlcomics.com will link you straight to that.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. This has been the Creative Corner, brought to you by Continuum COMiX. And with that, here's our outro. Continuum COMiX is more than a comic series, more than an LLC, more than an idea. It is a bridge to connect all creators of all levels and unite them in creation and conversation while putting out content to entertain fans and inviting everyone in to the Continuum.